I don't care a great deal approximately legends or that sort of component. I simply want to be remembered as an amazing actor who attempted to make a distinction. Jean Hackman has died, but the mysteries surrounding his death have now not only bowled over Hollywood but also induced a rift in his family that cannot be healed. A mythical figure like Jean Hackman have to have had a right funeral with tributes and information stories full of appreciate, but when he and his wife, Betsy Arakawa, have been determined in their quiet Santa Fe domestic, it became something. However, a renovation employee found Jean Man, his wife, Betsy Arakawa, and their canine useless in their New Mexico domestic this week. There was an open bottle of drugs at the desk and pills. All around the ground, their cherished canine was located useless in a closet just steps far away from Betsy's body. Hackman's pacemakers confirmed odd activity at the night he died. What sincerely occurred, is it a twist of fate, a cover-up plot or some thing even darker? The public still would not realize any other warfare has quietly started over his $80 million fortune. This is a warfare wherein there may be no room for unhappiness best. Suspicion, anger, and unanswered questions Jean Hackman had. 3 kids, however, he by no means absolutely connected with them to Hollywood. He changed into a legend. However, to his family he became an absent father, a mysterious shadow that no one may want to ever in reality attain his wife Betsy, who turned into idea. To be in fee of all cash subjects is now additionally lifeless, leaving no one to answer the maximum essential questions. Who is surely in fee of his inheritance? Did Hackman genuinely leave something to his children, or had the whole thing been tampered with? A long time ago, secrets had been saved for decades. The story of Jean Hackman is not only a Hollywood movie, it's an unfinished Hollywood script. It's a dark tale full of mystery, betrayal, and a own family torn aside via the ghosts of the beyond. Jean Hackman became recognized for gambling difficult men on display and became taken into consideration one of the nice actors in Hollywood history. However, whilst the level lighting fixtures went down and when the cameras stopped rolling, Hackman became not a legend. He turned into a one-of-a-kind man, remote cold, and usually preserving an invisible barrier regardless of those closest to him in the course of his 95 years of lifestyles. Hackman had marriages together with his first wife. Female-T, he had 3 kids, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie. Despite the fact that he turned into their father, Hackman become in no way without a doubt found in their lives. Jean Hackman changed into constantly busy with long filming schedules, endless travels, and years spent basking in the fame of her husband. At the same time as everyone popular him in Hollywood, his kids grew up in silence. His absence continually felt like a shadow. A close friend once informed Jean that for him, family continually got here first, and family dinners, coaching his youngsters the way to experience a motorcycle, or even just a easy hug before bed, have been usually inside the background. Christopher, Elizabeth, and Lacey did not have a father, that they had a Hollywood icon that everyone fashionable in 1986. After 30 years of marriage, Hackman divorced Faye Maltz, but not the divorce itself became heartbreaking. It was how Hackman disappeared from his children's lives after the divorce. Hackman stopped calling and meeting along with his youngsters. Very frequently over the years, Christopher, Elizabeth, and Leslie discovered to stay without their father, but what they did not count on became that only some years later Hackman could start a whole new lifestyles with any other girl in 1991. Hackman married Betsy Arakawa, a pianist 31 years his junior, and from that changed into the ultimate time Hackman could ever talk to his ex-own family. Betsy wasn't simply his wife, she managed everything around him. She responded all of his calls. So even his closest pals could not get in touch with him at once. She become in price of all of his finances, so each funding decision and actual estate buy had to go through her most. Importantly, she was in price of his private relationships, a long time pal. As soon as said, I tried calling Jean, however, Betsy was always the one who responded. No one ought to talk to Jean Hackman because Betsy wouldn't permit her. No one knew if Hackman selected to do this, but it became clean that after Betsy entered his lifestyles, Hackman cut all ties together with his 3 youngsters. They were now not in his life. The few letters he wrote had been never sent. The phone calls he made in no way went through, and Jean Hackman, who had been a distant father, have become an untouchable enigma in 1995, Hackman wrote a letter to his oldest son from his log cabin in Santa Fe. He wrote to his son, Christopher, son Arcognize. I became by no means the daddy you wanted me to be, however you have to understand. I turned into by no means simply supposed to belong to. Everyone, no longer even my family, that letter by no means left his drawer, and over the following few years he wrote more letters to Elizabeth and Leslie, but they in no way were given them. Hackman spent his complete life heading off his circle of relatives. Did he ever sense terrible? Approximately it had he come to terms with the fact that he was born to be a legend no longer. A father, there have been signs and symptoms that Hackman's kids had been sad with. How Betsy rant their father's existence, however. They never said something bad, approximately her in public. This brings up a number of troubling questions. Did Hackman actually need to be estranged from his kids or become Betsy's? Impact the motive, did he really want to depart them his fortune, or had all of his choices already been made by way of his second wife? The answers may lie inside them. Any changes Hackman made to his will. In his final years, G. Hackman modified his will regularly, so no one is aware of for positive in which his $80 million fortune will move. Did Hackman leave an inheritance for his youngsters, or did he give the entirety to Betsy extra? Importantly, if Betsy became his important beneficiary and died on the same time as him, what might manifest to his fortune if Hackman hadn't modified his will to account for the possibility of both partners dying if Hackman died? On the same time, his estate will be the situation of a protracted felony conflict over who has the proper to assert it his youngsters' combat for what they think is theirs, or could a person else be a part of the combat for his money? Also, Betsy's mom remains alive, though she has dementia. If Hackman left everything to Betsy without making a plan, her mom may want to emerge as the felony heir, which could lead to a combat among the Hackman circle of relatives and Betsy's mother concerning Jean Hackman's $80 million fortune. There is in plain reality that he's at the middle of a felony war that would, remaining for years, will his three youngsters be able to reclaim what become rightfully theirs, or have they been absolutely erased from his will? Most importantly, if nobody has prison control over the need, who will definitely inherit Hackman's fortune? There can be no smooth answers. A quiet, however, explosive prison war is brewing that could outlast even the well-known film She Left in the Back of Jean Hackman had a huge fortune well worth up to $80 million that he'd built up over decades of working difficult inside the arts. His wealth did not simply come from film salaries. It additionally came from real estate royalties from his e-book on classic film and mysterious investments that he'd by no means mentioned in public. One of the most exciting matters, approximately, Hackman's wealth become his real estate holdings. For over 30 years, he and his wife, Betsy Iraqi, lived in a luxurious estate in Santa Fe, New Mexico, an expansive and tranquil retreat that perfectly fit together with his choice to live a long way far away from Hollywood. In his later years, the kingdom, which turned into built in the southwestern fashion and sits on a big piece of land, is now concept to be well worth over $10 million before he moved to Santa Fe. Hackman owned a number of excessive value houses. As an example, the 25-acre estate in Monterey, California, in which he lived with his first spouse, Faye Maltz, was bought in $1.985 for approximately $5 million, but way to the relentless rise of the real estate market, it's now well worth greater than $25 million. Hackman additionally owned a domestic in Pebble Beach, California. That's one of the maximum expensive locations in the United States. While it changed into later placed on the market, it went for an unimprobable $79 million. However, Hackman's wealth went past real estate. Even after he stopped performing in 2004, he persisted to make loads of money from movies like The French Connection and Superman. No matter how a lot time goes by using Unforgiven and the Royal Tenenbaums, nonetheless deliver in millions of dollars in royalties each year. Hackman's name is nevertheless remembered and money maintains coming in from DVD releases, streaming offerings, and global TV syndication. But what definitely made Hackman's fortune exciting were his investments outdoor of entertainment. He wasn't just known as an actor, he changed into additionally a smart financial investor who held shares in major investment funds and controlled financial finances. Extra importantly, Hackman had offshore financial institution accounts in economic havens like Switzerland, the Cayman Islands, and Singapore. His transactions had been almost not possible to music because they were carried out via community of shell organizations that not even his closest buddies and family knew about. But that wasn't the maximum stunning. Discovery, the various economic files discovered after his loss of life that became a contract putting in GH Legacy Fund, a mystery financial. No person is aware of what Hackman changed into trying to do with this fund. However, one factor is for sure: none of Hackman's family members have been indexed as beneficiaries. Now, not Christopher, Elizabeth, or Lizzie. This begs the question, if not his own family, then who did Hackman truly accept as true with under the floor of a Hollywood legend? Hackman appeared to be a person who saved his private secrets to himself. He did not say why he set up the GH Legacy Fund or why he purposely left his family out of it. It's clear that this wasn't simply any investment trust, it was a well-thought-out financial pass. That not even Hackman's closest friends and family could understand the complexity of Hackman's wealth, no longer most effective, confirmed how rich he turned into, however also how much manage he had over his lifestyles proper, up until the stop, anyone. Who notion Hackman changed into just an terrific actor became wrong. He was a man who didn't depart whatever to hazard no longer, even after he died at this very moment. Attorneys are in all likelihood getting concerned. Hackman's own family won't be able to in touch with him if the court makes a decision that his property should be dealt with according to general inheritance legal guidelines. This will suggest that the children he had grown apart from would possibly become with nothing, while a completely unique force takes manage of his wealth. There are greater questions than solutions proper. Now, will Hackman's 3 children be capable of get Lauer back what they suppose is rightfully theirs, or will they should watch their father's whole legacy visit a person else? This felony battle should final 4 years, and like a Hollywood script, it is full of mysteries that haven't been solved. But G. Hackman, now not most effective, had a debatable existence, but he also made records with iconic performances. Before getting involved in legal battles over his will and inheritance, he became one in all the maximum respected actors in Hollywood, and a man who got here from a difficult heritage to emerge as one of the most sought-after stars at the big display. However, Hackman's route to fame wasn't easy. Noon could have imagined that Hackman, who dropped out of excessive college and joined the army at 16, would one day come to Beth, largest megastar inside the movie commercial enterprise. Hackman was born in 1930 in San Bernardino, California, and his adolescence became something, however stable, when he turned into 13. His father left the circle of relatives, leaving his mom to warfare on her very own. Hackman grew up with an unbiased, however deeply unsettled spirit. At 16, he ceased school and joined the Marine Corps. Hackman joined the Navy and labored as a subject radio operator for extra than 4 years. It turned into there that he first evolved an interest in media and overall performance after leaving the Navy. Hackman went to the University of Illinois to take a look at journalism and television manufacturing. However, his time there wasn't long-lasting. He soon dropped out and moved to Los Angeles to take acting classes at the Pasadena Playhouse, in which he met Dustin Hoffman, some other aspiring actor. Each Hackman and Hoffman were advised they'd no destiny in the commercial enterprise. One of Hackman's instructors even informed him he would never be a hit actor, but Hackman did not give up, rather. He used the one's comments as motivation to show them incorrect. The early years of his profession were full of small parts. He struggled to make money and did the whole thing from using a truck to selling shoes to paintings as a security protect. But he by no means gave up on his dream. His big smash got here in 1964, when director Robert Rossen solid him in a assisting position in Lilith, the film, which starred Warren Beatty, got the attention of filmmakers, especially Beatty, who could later play a key function in Hackman's career. In 1967, Beatty delivered Hackman to director Arthur Penn for Bonnie and Clyde. In the beginning, Hackman wasn't the primary desire for the function of Dollar Barrow. However, his raw, excessive performance helped the movie emerge as a large hit. The position earned Hyam his first Academy Award nomination, which marked his big destroy into the movie enterprise. After Bonnie and Clyde, Hackman quickly landed other roles. Hackman's big break came in 1971, when he played Jimmy Poy Doyle in The French Connection. This function, now not best, won him the Academy Award for Satisfactory Actor, but it additionally made him one in every of Hollywood's leading men. His performance, because the tough, relentless, and cunning police officer turned into electrifying, and the movie turned into a big hit from then on. Hackman wasn't just a helping actor. he became the big name of the movies inside the 1970s and 180s continued to rule the massive screen with extremely good roles in as Lex Luthor and Superman. 1978, the inspiring basketball instructor in Howard's 1986, and the determined FBI agent in Mississippi Burning 2, 88 Hackman confirmed. Off a different face of his appearing capabilities, but he wasn't restrained to a unmarried type of position he changed into. A completely flexible actor who could effortlessly transfer between villains and deeply complicated characters. He received his second Academy Award in 1988, which changed into even extra evidence of his versatility. Hackman won any other award for high-quality helping actor in Clint Eastwood's Unforgiven Gambling, the merciless Sheriff Little Bill Daggett with the aid of the early 2000s. Hackman became, still one among Hollywood's biggest name. She continued to electrify audiences with films like The Royal Tenenbaums 2001, Runaway Jury 2003, and Welcome to Mooseport 2004. However, in 2004, on the top of his profession, Hackman stunned everyone by saying he become quitting acting. He become, nevertheless, one of the most bankable stars in the enterprise. Hackman had other alternatives. He stopped Hollywood to awareness on his private life and his love of writing. Inside the years that accompanied, he published a huge range of books, from historical fiction to thrillers, showing an entire new aspect of his creativity. Even though he wasn't acting anymore, Hackman's legacy lived on inside the hearts of fans. He wasn't simply an actor. He turned into an image of staying power, resilience, and characters who never gave up despite the fact that went into a quiet life. Hackman's death changed into shrouded in controversy and mystery as info of his will and inheritance slowly came to light. One question remained unanswered. Did he definitely have manipulate over his very own lifestyle? Still the very give up, or had been unseen forces manipulating the entirety from in the back of the scenes? G. Hackman left his global within the identical way. He lived it quietly, mysteriously, and without leaving too many strains. But while the doors to a Santa Fee home closed after his demise, it failed to simply mark the stop of a Hollywood superstar. $8 million is greater than just a variety. It is a part of the legacy of a man who spent his complete existence controlling the whole lot together with his personal wealth. However, the largest question still stands: who will surely inherit this money? Hackman's will hasn't been made public yet. However, his atypical relationship together with his 3 kids has made human beings surprise if they will actually get a proportion of his property. If Betsy Arana, his second wife, changed into the criminal heir, her simultaneous Hackman's death has made things even more complex. Will Hackman's 3 children combat to get back the inheritance, or will the money turn out to be in the palms of someone unknown? As rumors, approximately the name of the game. GH Legacy Fund recommend. Does Betsy's own family have any legal grounds to make a claim in the coming days? Solutions may start to come out. However, one factor is for sure: this inheritance war will not be over quickly. It could pass on for years or maybe decades, full of surprising courtroom cases, revelations, and perhaps secrets approximately Gan Hackman that were in no way meant to be discovered. But cash wasn't the best element Gene Hackman left behind. For over 40 years, he devoted himself to films bringing to life characters that had been sturdy, gritty, and deeply complex. Hackman, by no means regarded for glamorous roles, he selected characters that were complex. Once in a while, rough on occasion, bitter, but constantly strikingly actual, like the irritable detective Jimmy Poppy Doyle in The French Connection, the cleaver, terrible man Lex Luthor and Superman, and the merciless Gene Hackman left at the back of a legacy that could never be replaced. He wasn't only an incredible actor, he became an artist who wasn't afraid to depart Hollywood to live lifestyles on his very own terms. Hackman left Hollywood almost 20 years ago. However, his name nonetheless indicates up on conventional movies and in prison documents, wherein own family participants, lawyers, and other fascinated parties are expecting the final solution on who sincerely merits G. Hackman's fortune, regardless of how lengthy the war lasts. Whilst his estate lasts, one factor is sure: Gene Hackman's inventive legacy will in no way be questioned or fade. What do you consider Gene Hackman's life and legacy? He left at the back of an unforgettable collection of films. However, the last chapter of his lifestyles. His still complete of unanswered questions were those the outcomes of his own picks, or had been their unseen forces controlling the whole thing from behind the curtain? Let us know in the comments, and consider to like and enroll in Stay Up To Das Way. Maintain looking into the most surprising deaths of Hollywood with stars. Thank you for looking, and we will see you within the subsequent movie.